So the first part, I'd like to cordially invite Richard Wang. Let's begin with Silicon Valley and Hong Kong's sharing. Maybe Richard will share with me more about Dragon as well as Cyport Dragon joint accelerations most updates, especially in Silicon Valley as well as from Hong Kong's perspective. Welcome, Richard.
Hi, thank you, Stanley. Yeah, welcome everybody on the Sunday evening Asia time, and I believe that's the Sunday morning in Toronto right now to join this virtual meetup. So, as Stanley mentioned, he'd like me to share something about the Silicon Valley and Hong Kong accelerator that was joint venture between Triple Dragon and Cyberport. So, in the very beginning, I'd like to give you some background about Triple Dragon in Silicon Valley, and then later on, what we are doing for now. Triple Dragon, some of you may know, right? Triple Dragon actually quite focused on Web3 in the past 10 years. So some of you may know that we invest Coinbase 2015, right? And since then, we do have a different digital assets fund focused on different area in Web3. Well, I would say every area, to be honest, all the way from the layer one protocol to the trading platform as well. So that's about Web3. And of course, people talking about Web3, well, it could be something to do with AI. For example, blockchain AI application that was actually raised by Vitalik, I believe that's 2024, right? That's one case. And also, you may know, right, the SaaS in assigned by Trump also focus on, say, Web3 plus AI to do something is more crypto, actually. Well, okay, that's crypto and AI. But actually, well, when we talk about Web3, we are more keen to, or say we are more like to say it's about ownership, right? So that's Web3. Okay, if we are able to give a further explanation about how you reach that ownership going forward, right? Based on XYZ situation right now, well, I think we do have a three. Actually, we have a one matrix that is when we talk about the Web3, how we able to do the ownership. Well, okay, I would say that would be easy. First of all, only three of them. First of all, I would say it's open source XYZ. So open source AI, that's Web3 AI. And second, decentralized, right? Of course, Web3 talking about decentralization. So decentralized AI is Web3 AI. Okay, good. That there might be two. And then the other thing is we say edge AI. Well, edge is a terminal, individual terminal, right? So it's a way it's decentralization too. In a way, it's held by user itself, right? So edge AI is Web3 AI. Okay, now we know, as you also know that I already explained, we also invest the Web3 AI area, which actually is open source AI. Well, actually, you see a lot, right? For example, DeepSeek in China. Open source AI, you also see a lot of different cases in US for sure. Decentralized AI, I believe you see a lot of cases in US as well. And also edge AI, especially you will see a lot of company, especially today, right? Last week, the MediaTek and also NVIDIA, they talking about the new silicon. It's going to be something called AI ASIC. That would be edge AI as well, because everybody is going to their own your AI PC. Yes, that's Web3 AI. And the reason I said this is because actually we just try to let you know when we say we invest Web3, it's not only, well, it's definitely not only crypto. It's actually about blockchain, ledger technology, about the decentralized AI as well. So that's when we say we invest Web3, it definitely includes AI. Okay, as I mentioned, it was a matrix, right? So when I say open source AI, decentralization AI, and also edge AI, maybe I should try to give more explanation about, in the case, what specific AI area that you may pay attention or say you may deploy the funding, right? Yeah, indeed. So there's a very, as I mentioned, the other three, right? Open source AI, decentralized AI, and edge AI. Actually, we have another three subsect sector that we really focus on AI area. One is very easy to understand. We say physical AI plus silicon. Okay, now you know, of course, a lot of people talking about OpenAI Anthropic is not able to fulfill the physical AI space because it's just new and it requires a lot of physical experience, right? Physical AI and plus silicon, by the way, because it's going to involve a lot of different sensors, for example, right? New sensor maybe, right? It's not just the sensor that we are using today on whatever electronic devices. So physical data from physical AI is going to contribute, going to be labeling by each consumer, each individual, or even each, fragment supernode, right? So that's decentralization too. But again, it's involved the physical, involved the silicon. So it would be some kind of as edge as well. So anyway, three subsector. One is I just say physical AI plus silicon. And second, I would say it's cross-region AI infra. That's going to match our topic today. Cross-region AI infra. Why is that? Yeah, as you know, right? For example, so many countries have their own act, right? For example, US, Japan, EU, they have their own act, right? I mean, AI act. So when you're doing one kind of infra, it's not able to fulfill the global requirement, right? It has to be tailored to certain regional, fit to their certain regional regulation. So it will be regional AI infra. However, why we say cross region? Because of I don't believe some small country, for example, I'm not good to say the name, right? But some small country they want to have their own ARM maybe, but simply they are not able to develop that, or they are not able to afford that, or even they are not simply not able to have that, right? So there's supposedly that some kind of infra need to be tailored for those the regional application as well. So that's the second one. The third subsector is actually, I believe everyone here would be interested. We call vertical AI. That's more application perspective. For example, you are using the AI to education, to logistics, to the layout, to the healthcare, for example, right? That's the area we call vertical AI. Okay, that's something we are doing in the Web3 AI sector going forward. Not just in the past, but we are going to pay full attention and more dedicate on this area. So that's about what we are doing in Silicon Valley. And fortunately, we also engage with Cyberport Hong Kong to have a joint venture accelerator early this year. So we already host one first cohort, have recruited 1.5 project. For those accelerator, we are going to, welcome and those the companies that are doing the data, big data, AI, and also as well the Web3 sector. So for this accelerator, actually, we bring quite a lot of resource to them, not just the entrepreneurship, but also some kind of funding from our investor network as well. So yeah, that's what we are doing here, and love to have some kind of interaction and learn from you guys too. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. So a follow-up question. So if you had to identify the current center of gravity of AI and crypto capital flows, where should it be?
Not quite sure if I understand you, but well, again, as I mentioned, the Web3 not necessarily crypto, right? And in actually, we do not pay too much attention in on crypto itself. We actually more focus on AI now, I mean, compared to the past. So we believe the AI sector, but with some kind of Web3 concept, some kind of Web3 economics is going to help the for sure.
Thanks for the response. Additionally, as you know, since your time is very limited, we have some questions. Even we have the Q&A session, but I'd like to ask in advance. So the original snapshot question is from your perspective, what is the AI plus crypto conversation actually happening today across the Silicon Valley and Hong Kong? Specifically, where is the real capital being deployed versus narrative-driven activity? And is the conversation happening more in infrastructure, applications, or financial areas? The audience would like to seek your insights.
Well, I guess you mentioned about what would the capital right now, which area they're more focused on, right?
Yes.
So, well, as you know, the macro is so bad. well, compared to Nasdaq, right? And you also see the falling of Nasdaq in today and also yesterday, right? But in overall, I think the crypto community, or say those people, they are in crypto area. They are not necessary to understand AI, and they are not necessarily like AI either, right? However, for those crypto holder, I think if the macro is so bad, they plan to deploy their capital to other area, which has more better return. By saying so, I think the Nasdaq, the stock market, would be more attractive to those that's one thing that I can figure it out. And second, I do visit the Computex Taipei last week as well, and I do see a lot more company coming up, especially in AI area. You definitely you see a lot of conversation, a lot of speech from Jason Huang, right, about the AI XYZ, about the supply, not just the NVIDIA chip itself, but also from the upstream and also downstream application. So I would say you would see a lot more opportunity, or say growth opportunity in this area compared to crypto. For crypto, you will only see, okay, what will be new, innovative stuff from Bitcoin, UTSO protocol. Yes, I would say yes, that's something we also deploy, but comparatively, it may not be huge, or say comparable to AI area. That's one thing. And second, you argue that, okay, then besides Bitcoin UTSL protocol, what else? Well, it's really hard to tell what would be new, some kind of innovative, not just the infra, but also application. It would be really hard to tell what would be the next coming up. At this, we are simply not able to see that at this moment. So again, by saying so, we think the most of capital is going to deploy in some the area which people is easy to figure out what will coming soon, what would be possible. Is there's visibility then. So hope that answer your questions.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for your time. And I think you give a very great insight from both Silicon Valley as Hong Kong, especially from the investor's perspective. Additionally, I'd like to highlight that last year, Richard, together with us, we provide a great platform for the startups to expanding across regions. It is Draper's CDJP, Cycle Drive Dragon Joint X-Rate program. I think the partner, Seven, will give more in